WFMY News 2 Mornings. Demonstrations begin around the world, a part of May Day protests. The global movement hitting close to home with 2 districts that hit the picket lines for teacher benefit.
New charges for the driver accused of causing a deadly pedestrian crash in Eden. The new discoveries made by state troopers.
Plus, FEMA workers fired for overlooking certain Helene survivors for political reasons. A look at the court documents.
And mainly dry today, but rain chances going up as we head toward the weekend. WFMY News 2 Mornings at 6 starts right now.
Good morning, friends, and thanks for joining us. You're watching WFMY News 2 Mornings. It is now 6 o'clock on the dot on this Thursday morning. I'm Lauren Coleman.
And I'm Megan Malaris. Let's get to meteorologist Ed Matthews and meteorologist Christian Morgan with a look at a pretty nice day, traffic and weather-wise, but we had some storms where I was last night.
Ooh, yeah. Ed, once again, luck of the draw on who gets rain and who doesn't over the next couple of days. And last week, we didn't have a lot of luck.
Yeah, definitely not. Some of our northern areas really getting some beneficial rain yesterday, but if you did not, yeah, we have more chances really tomorrow and through the upcoming weekend. I think overall today is going to be a pretty dry day as our little backdoor front lifts back north into Virginia. That was the trigger that got things going in our northern areas yesterday. A clear to partly cloudy sky this morning. Burlington at 65, 64 in Troy, 62 at Reedsville. Stokesdale is at 59, 58 in Mount Airy, and Liberty is at 63. So mainly dry today. There could be a few storms out over the mountain locations. They'll be isolated, and then tomorrow afternoon we see the scattered showers and storms back in our forecast, and we'll keep those scattered afternoon showers and storms in through the weekend and into early next week, as we'll talk about later. 86 the high today, partly cloudy, 63 tonight.
All right, thanks, Ed. Let's get you out the door. 6:02 right now on this Thursday without many slowdowns or really any accidents to talk about. Asheboro, you're looking good over to Lexington, High Point, Winston-Salem. Do want to take you back up to Yadkinville this morning. There was some slower traffic on 421 between Yadkinville and Louisville. Could have been because of some fog. It looks like that fog is starting to clear this morning as well, so really no concern there. Around Greensboro and the Gate City, also fine. If any accidents pop up, of course, we'll be passing those along to you. Right now, I-40 in Wendover looks busy, but looks okay. Traffic still moving along at a pretty good clip. 21 minutes now from Greensboro to Winston-Salem on 40, 23 minutes on 421. That's a quick look at Triad traffic, 6:02.
Well, today on the first day of May, workers around the country across a variety of industries are taking part in various rallies as part of May Day.
It's a day typically celebrated by workers worldwide, also known as International Labor Day.
Yeah, May Day's roots stretch back to the 1800s when unions first started pushing for reduced 8-hour workdays and better working conditions. This movement started with a rally in Chicago that turned deadly. From then on, unions recommended that workers be honored every May 1st.
Today, grassroots efforts are extending to the Triad, with teachers unions planning their own rallies to advocate for more funding and support for teachers and students.
WFMY News 2 Giselle Thomas is live at Parkland High School in Winston-Salem, where teachers have something planned during school drop-off this morning. Giselle?
Yeah, so this morning the Forsyth County Association of Educators is hosting a walk-in here at Parkland High School, and they're also planning to do a demonstration during the car ride-in. They say that they are wanting more resources for students and also better pay for teachers. Now, the rally comes after a few weeks ago when teachers with FCAE rallied outside of the school board meeting. Now, Winston-Salem Forsyth County school leaders had proposed making cuts to deal with a $5 million hole in its budget. Now, the district is also facing a change in leadership after its superintendent recently resigned. And around Thanksgiving and Christmas, bus drivers were rallying for better pay and treatment. Now, this morning, teachers plan to rally at Parkland High School and all throughout 9 other schools throughout the districts. Now, the demonstrations today will start up around 8 a.m. and we did reach out to the district to see if there was any statement or comment in regards to this. We are still waiting to hear back at this time.
All right, Giselle, we will stay on top of what happens at those rallies. It's a big deal happening today. All right, we will be monitoring those as educators within the Guilford County Union are planning demonstrations tonight. They plan to demonstrate outside of Senator Tom Tillis's office.
A new national report supports the goal for the rallies today. It found that North Carolina teachers are among the lowest paid in the country. The National Education Association released data showing North Carolina now ranked 43rd for average teacher pay. That's down 5 spots from last year. The state also ranks 39th for starting teacher salaries, highlighting growing concerns among educators and lawmakers. In our state, the average starting salary for new teachers is $42,000, while the average salary for all teachers is over $58,000. That figure is just below the state's calculated minimum living wage, meaning many educators are struggling to make ends meet. This is something state lawmakers have been trying to address since November. House Bill 192, which is under consideration right now, would provide significant pay increases for educators across the state. If passed, the bill would give educators raises of up to $12,000.
Something else in the works at our state's capital. Leaders are making a plea to Congress to keep Head Start programs in our state up and running. Governor Josh Stein and other leaders sent a letter to Congress asking that funds for progress remain in place. The Trump administration proposed cuts to the Department of Health and Human Services, which would include eliminating funding for programs like Head Start. Lieutenant Governor Rachel Hunt and State Superintendent Mo Green joined those efforts.
6:06 now. A pair of schools in Forsyth County will learn remote again today after a fire. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools says it hasn't gotten the all clear to let students return to Walkertown High and Middle. A fire started on a stovetop Tuesday night, forcing the school to go remote yesterday and now today. It is not clear what caused the fire. The school shares a building.
This morning, the driver accused of hitting and killing 4 linemen in Rockingham County faces new charges. Highway Patrol charged Michael Vernon with driving without a proper license. He initially faced charges for misdemeanor death by vehicle after troopers say the city dump truck he was driving ran a stop sign last week, hitting 6 linemen. 4 of them died. We reached out to the city for comment since one of its drivers is accused of driving without a CDL license. It told us it planned to share a statement, but at last check had not done so. Vernon is on administrative leave.
Another Triad man is also facing new charges for his involvement in a deadly crash in Statesville. State Highway Patrol charged Benjamin Overton with second-degree murder after 2 people died earlier this month. Troopers say he crashed into a car and the people inside died. Troopers say Overton was speeding and driving impaired. He initially faced charges for DWI, reckless driving, and death by vehicle.
Well, this all comes as a new report lists North Carolina as the 5th highest ranking state in the country for reckless driving deaths. A study from Value Penguin reports more than 1,300 reckless driving deaths were reported between 2018 and 2022. For every billion miles traveled, the report cites 11.5 fatalities during that time span. This number is 3 times higher than the national average. Montana, if you're wondering, is the state that topped the list, nearly doubling the rate of North Carolina.
A 13-year-old in High Point is in jail this morning on accusations of shooting up a house. Police say the teen hit a home on Fern Avenue that had 3 people inside, including 2 toddlers. The gunfire didn't hit anyone. Police say the teen also shot at a car with 2 teens inside but missed. He faces several charges, including assault with a deadly weapon.
In an update this morning, the Guilford County District Attorney's Office cleared 2 officers who shot and killed someone at a McDonald's. High Point police say an officer shot someone last December. Officers say Najim Jordan was cutting himself with a razor and had a knife. The DA's office said the man walked toward officers with the knife, so 2 of them opened fire. He later died at the hospital. The DA's office called this a justified use of force, so declined to press charges.
A local shop donated more than $11,000 to the widow of a Greensboro police officer. Carolina Sports Accessories gave a check to Michael Horan's wife. The store sold hats and shirts in honor of Horan. He died in a shooting inside a grocery store days before Christmas. The business did the same for Sergeant Dale Nix's family. He died in a shooting the year prior.
New court documents reveal the firings of 3 FEMA workers on accusations that the workers ignored homes with Trump signs in their yards during its response to Hurricane Helene. Remember, the agency fired a supervisor in November, bringing the total to 4 people fired since recovery efforts started. A whistleblower accused one staff member of directing staff to avoid houses that showed support for Trump. Court documents said she was following FEMA policy to remove herself from the situation if she felt threatened. At that point, FEMA launched an investigation leading to new firings, and the internal investigation found it was limited to 4 employees. The agency is now holding additional training to make sure workers uphold their mission to help all people.
The State Department of Public Safety released a new report assessing how it responded to Hurricane Helene. It broke down the challenges faced during the storm and ideas for making it better in the future. It says staffing is the biggest challenge. DPS says it didn't have the manpower to sustain round-the-clock operations. It also cited communication breakdowns and inefficient resource management. Ideas for the future include developing a strategy to recruit and retain more people. It wants to modernize its communication system and use technology to help make sure resources are used efficiently as possible.
All right, 6:10 right now on this Thursday morning. Getting out the door, mainly dry today, but we will warm it up, be a little sticky this afternoon. Rain chances going up, but no washouts over the next few days. We'll talk about our best opportunity to get some of that much needed rain coming up in the full 7-day forecast. It's next.